Erneuerbare TV ist heute bei ElaadNL. ElaadNL ist ein Wissens- und Innovationszentrum der niederländischen Stromnetzbetreiber. Hier wurden wichtige Kommunikationsstandards entwickelt, die für die Elektromobilität weltweit von großer Bedeutung sind. Baerte de Brey ist im Vorstand von ElaadNL und zuständig für die Auswirkungen der Elektromobilität auf die Stromnetze. Er erklärt uns die weitere Entwicklung der Elektromobilität.
From the start, we didn't just electrify e-mobility, we tried to integrate this into the energy system. So combine it with rooftop solar, wind energy, but also the heat pumps you see over here. The challenge 15 years ago was that you had traditional sectors, automotive and energy, and they didn't speak to each other, literally. There was no communication, nor by the management, nor by the devices. And this is what we developed. OCPP, which stands for Open Charge Point Protocol, is a standard where vehicles, charge point communicate to the grid. So they can charge when there's a lot of solar generation or wind, or where there's a lot of demand by heat pumps, so vehicles can discharge.
So from the beginning you just thought about the future of the grid, is it right?
Yeah, this wasn't a 10-year plan with a big, hairy, audacious goal. Of course, we did step by step, but from the start, we wanted to integrate these challenges because at their own, they face sometimes congestion on the electricity grids, but together, they're a solution for the problem. Charge when it's sunny, discharge when there's a demand by heat pumps, for example.
Okay, but the problem is the communication between heat pumps and management system for the home and battery, it doesn't work really good. How do you manage it?
Yeah, not yet, because as I said, it's traditional sectors which exist for 100 years with different technical standards. Now they have to merge. And this is what we develop here at Elaad, those standards and protocols so devices can communicate together. Often people think from traditional silos, the sector they're in, while the energy transition asks for cross-sector collaboration. And as grid operators, we're in the center between the energy sector and the mobility sector. So this gives us a unique point to merge those together.
Where's the difference to the German thinking about it?
I think Germany, an advantage is that you have a very strong automotive sector, but the disadvantage is that you have over 800 different grid operators, for example. So there's no equal power play in this merge. And Netzbetriebe often are publicly owned, they have a public interest, while car manufacturers often have a commercial interest. And of course you need public-private partnership, but the positions of and the scope and scale of companies are so different that it's very hard to collaborate. Last week I was at a high-level meeting and we had some representation of the automotive sector, and we could sit all at one table. And high official mentioned if we would have to invite all German grid operators, we would need a soccer stadium to have everybody on board. And well, in the Netherlands we have a more convenient position. We don't have a strong energy sector, no RWE, no E.ON, and we lack automotive. So this gives free hands to innovate a little bit between those two sectors. We have the possibility to be open-minded and innovative. On the other hand, the Dutch market is too small to have our own separate standard. We have to work together with German automotive, with French automotive, with all energy companies. So from the start, it was a solution for a problem we have. We have congestion on the grids, so it is our own medicine. But we had in mind that it shouldn't be just a local solution. We would like to share it with the rest of Europe, and we can because we're not for profit, so there's no commercial incentive. And you see many European companies and countries embrace the standards.
Perhaps you can explain a little bit what's around here. What can we see here?
Yeah, developing a software stack is very nice, but you have to test it as well. And that's what we also do here at our test lab. We see if the standards and protocols comply with each other. In Germany, you have 4 different car manufacturers, and they might have just a little different implementation. So with one charging station, you have to do 4 tests, BMW, Volkswagen, Mercedes, etc. And then all the others, other car manufacturers. But you also have 100 different charging stations. And you want to have that interoperability testing. Not only from our perspective, so can we rely if we give a signal that you reduce the speed of charging if there's an overload, for example. But also for EV drivers, it's important that with one identification tag, you can charge anywhere in Europe, and systems are interoperable. And that's what we also test here. Interoperability, but also quality. Technical quality on cybersecurity, power quality, and I'll show you later on.
So that means you research the development of electromobility in whole Europe?
Yeah, we have the equipment here to replicate all European grids. This fall we even are going to do some testing against the Australian grid. Because Australia, yeah, we can learn a lot from Australia. They also have a lot of rooftop solar, and the same challenge. They want to be energy independent, they want to achieve climate goals and use that battery of the electric vehicle, not only for mobility, but also as a buffer, a stroomspeicher in your system.
What do you think, how many charging stations will there be in the future in the Netherlands?
Yeah, the Dutch government has set an agenda, the national charging agenda, and we hope to have 1.7 million curbside chargers in the Netherlands in 2030. That is because by that time we phase out combustion engines, so every new sold car will be electrified. And of course,
in 2030?
In 2030, most Dutch people don't have their own driveway. 70% of people are dependent on curbside charging. So with this big target, municipalities and provinces know what their ambition is, what the EV drivers need, but also it gives certainty for charge point operators that they know there is a market for their business.
1.7 charging stations. How many cars are there in Netherlands?
Well, we think by 2030 it will be around 3 million, 4 million electric vehicles. Depending also on the prices. At the moment, electric vehicles are still quite expensive, but you probably also see a flourishing second-hand market by that time. And it's very important to be proactive in your rollout of charging stations. So don't wait till someone buys an electric vehicle, first-hand or second-hand, because then you're too late with the charging station. So at ELAAD, at the grid operators, we work together with municipalities in a proactive rollout. So not waiting on the chicken and an egg, first there has to be one and then the other solves. No, we're just installing the charging station, so if you buy a second-hand vehicle online maybe, and you have it tomorrow, then the charging station is already there.
Already there. But at the end, how many electric vehicles will be there in the 40s? What do you think?
In the 40s, I think the average depreciation of electric vehicles is around 10 years. So if we phase out combustion engines in 2030, I think we should be over 50, 70, maybe 80% of electric vehicles. So it will be somewhere between 6 and 8 million electric vehicles. But you don't need one charger for every electric vehicle. You don't go to the petrol station every day.
Yes.
So if your battery is full and you still can drive 200 kilometers, the average commute in the Netherlands is 40, 50 kilometers. So what you see, the utilization of charging stations is very high, but with different neighbors. And this is a rollout of public charging stations. Many companies also provide their employees also with electricity in their parking garage. So that's an extra number of charging stations available, together with, of course, the fast chargers along the corridors between the big cities and along highways.
Why do you have so many charging shades in the public? Do you really need them?
Yes, we like charging stations in the public domain because they are the interface with the energy system. So we don't install the charging stations just for charging the vehicle. No, grid operators need them to balance the grid. Imagine a city of Utrecht where you have 38% of houses with rooftop solar. In summer, there's a supply peak on the grid. And either we have to shut the solar panels off, a waste of money, or we can charge the electric vehicles with it. But then you need a lot of chargers installed. So it's not only providing e-mobility an opportunity to charge, it's also the interface with your energy system and the way to use that battery as a stroomspeicher.
So the energy system here from the early beginning thinks about the electromobility, is it right?
Yes, electric mobility integrated together with the other challenges, heat pumps, wind, solar, data center, etc.
What can we see here, please?
Standardization is not only about standards and protocols and software, it's also about the hardware. We developed together with the market one connection plug. So all different charge point manufacturers know how easily and effectively to plug a charger in, reducing the installation time significantly from average 28 minutes to only 5, 6, 7 minutes, which means also less money involved in installing.
I see.
So that's in all the tenders in the Netherlands already, and actually from the charging stations, we're now also using this technique for lampposts, traffic lights, advertisement stuff. So it's really picked up by the market. This one, it's connected to the cable, and the cable's connected to the grid, and you just plug it off, put it in, and Bob's your uncle.
And normally takes it how long?
28 minutes on average.
And now?
Now, 5, 6, 7 minutes, and you're done. So you can do more charging stations or reduce your costs of engineering.
That's it. And it's unique in Netherlands, it's not in Germany?
Not yet, but it's an open innovation, so if you want to use it as well, feel free to contact us.
What is the future of this protocol of the standard here in Netherlands? What are you working on?
Yeah, now from innovation we're scaling up. As I mentioned, so numbers are getting big. And here at ELAD, we're not only developing the new standards, we're also testing it. And in future, I think a little bit of enforcement, really checking, certifying that the system works, is safe, but also cyber secure. Well, we want to have a fully integrated system with rooftop solar and bidirectional vehicles supporting the grid. But not one of a kind, not only with Renault. Yes. We have an open market, so you need interoperability, where you have different car manufacturers and different charge point operators and different energy suppliers and different heat pumps and different solar panels, all working together. And for this, we developed a system architecture, we developed the communication standards to integrate this so everybody can talk to everyone. Now we're testing it with all the different manufacturers in the different sectors if they comply to these standards. So EV drivers know it's safe but also cyber secure.
That means in the future that I can travel around the Netherlands and at every charging station I can use bidirectional loading.
Yes, that is the vision, because it's not only a vision, it's also what we need. Otherwise we have congestion on the grids, higher costs for EV drivers. Well, if it's an open market with open standards and protocols, we can reduce the load on the grid, and we hopefully can make it affordable for everyone.
Bidirectional loading for everyone, so that means electromobility gets cheaper for everyone.
Hopefully, yes, and cleaner.
So, thank you. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen und lasst einfach ein Abo da und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.